Welcome folks to a brand new video. This time we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Whereas before we sold every first team United player, this time round we are going to go to Man City and we are going to completely destroy them. We are going to take all the money off them, barring a little bit just to get by, and plus we have relegated them to League 2, and on top of that we've released all their first team players. But who knows, this could possibly happen if found guilty of breaching a lot of financial rules. So we're just going to take this scenario and see what happens. We're going to see if we can rebuild them from the bottom using their youth team. We're going to follow a few simple rules as well. While we're in League 2, we can only spend up to £2 million in the transfer window. League 1, we're going to be giving ourselves £5 million. The Championship, £8 million, and then once we reach the Premiership we will have unlimited money or whatever the board decide to give us to try and get them back to winning the league and the Champions League. And just to let you know what I mean, so the squad, there's none of your favourites there. There's no De Bruyne, there's no Diaz, there is no Haaland. This is the youth team, everybody that was in the under 21s, 18 and over have been conscripted to the first team. Obviously it needs a little bit of sorting out, but there are some very good players in there. So whether the star rating is compared to the league we're actually in League 2, but they look very, very good. And on a whole, I think they could possibly get it out of League 2, League 1, possibly get to the Championship, and that's where everything will start happening. Finances, £2 million, that's what we've been given using the editor, and I have used the FM24 editor, not the in-game editor, to move them from the Premiership to the League 2, and then using the editor we changed the financials in there. So a massive hit and loss this season, so they've lost all their money barring £2 million which we've given them to the transfer budget. They have got wages budget, that's just to cover all the wages that they currently have got within the youth setup. It's wrong to deny them their wages. So if we take a look at the squad, some of the players, the highest earners on 45 grand a week was Perone. He looks pretty good. He's worth 18 million, maybe. I mean, 20 years old, he was in the under 21s. He's been saved. 25 grand a week is Keiki. Never heard of him, I do apologise. Some of these, Harwood Bellis, I have heard of. He is a very good defender. We've got Doyle, Stefanovic. A lot of these, should they really have been in the under 21s? If anybody comes knocking on the door, then obviously we may have to let them go anyway because of the money situation. But overall, the quality of the players look pretty decent. We've got Makati, Bob, Bellis, Delap even. Robertson, we got Doyle, Perone, Hamilton, Stefanovic, Esbrand, left back, I believe, isn't he? He is, yeah. So some of these players, I mean, they should be stepping up to the first team anyway anytime soon, but we are going to be using them. I don't think we need to spend any money in the transfer window. We just need to sort out a formation that we're going to be going with. But if we have a look at our vision, is maintain the best youth system in the country. Well, that's going to be kind of difficult now because we've depleted it. Work within the wages budget. I think we're in Europe. I don't think we can do anything about that. Win the World Club Championship. Well, that's going to be pretty difficult with the side that we've got, so not expecting anything of that. So I'm assuming we're going to be still in these competitions for this first season anyways. So we're just going to have to go along with it. Staffing wise, it's probably going to be the best in the league. League 2 at least anyway, so we'll see what happens there. We haven't changed an awful lot. We've just changed the finances. We've got rid of all the first teamers and we've dumped them in League 2, and we're using our youth team. So if you're excited to see what we do here, smash that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It really will help us quite a lot. It's the best way to support the channel. And let's jump straight into things and sort this formation out. We did have to delve into the transfer market for one player and one player only. We needed a goalkeeper. The goalkeepers that we had were just not good enough. And Alejandro Iturbi from Atletico Madrid, second team for £450,000. Very cheap. Got some potential in him. He's better than our current goalkeepers. And to be perfectly honest, there wasn't really that much out there that we could really rely on. So we're going to have to count on the players ahead of him to keep the ball away from him. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully he'll grow. If not, then obviously we'll have to look again in the market and see if we can look elsewhere. But yeah, at the moment, we're kind of struggling for for a goalkeeper. With that being the only movement in the transfer market, this is our formation. And if we pick our best 11, which is pretty solid actually, to be honest, it looks really good. We've got Delap up front, Hamilton on the left, McCarthy, Bob, Doyle, Peroni. We've got Esbrand, Doyle, Bellis, Katongo and Iturb in goal. You can see where the weaknesses are. We've got no real right back and a goalkeeper we are struggling. And same with Esbrand as well. It doesn't seem that great, and same with Hamilton. So we'll see what happens. We've only taken 1L in the friendlies. That was against AEK and we drew with Sporting. Other than that, we have scored goals and won. We've won the Community Shield against Arsenal. So that's going to be our only Community Shield till we get back to the Premiership, unless we win the FA Cup, of course. We've also won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Sevilla 3-0. So that's 2 trophies already in the League 2. I mean, that's fantastic, isn't it, really? And then look who we've battered. We've battered Doncaster 9-0 in the league. We drew Accrington, but beat Harrogate 3-2 and then battered Walsall 7-2. I'm expecting a lot of goals, and also probably a lot of goals being conceded at the same time. We are in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy and the Champions League also. As you can see, it's a very, very busy page we're in. We've got the World Club Championship as well. This is going to be a remarkable season for these youngsters. So thanks for the original first team. So the Champions League, we've got Inter, Braga and Slovan. Yeah, the youngsters are going to have a whale of a time in Europe. But they have got 2 trophies to the name already, so I'm really stoked about that. And we are lying somehow second in the table. It's only Mansfield have won 4 for 4 ahead of us. So let's jump into our first season, see what that brings, see how many trophies we can win out of this lot, because there just is a lot. I'm expecting us to get promoted, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and see how we do. Well, as expected and much needed, we are into League 1. We have won the League 2 title convincingly by 20 points. We have a goal difference of 112. We score 160 goals, winning 36 out of the 46 games. We did lose 3 games, surprisingly, and that was against MK Dons, Morecambe and Gillingham, all away from home. But 160 goals scored, that is just incredible. 12 of them coming against Salford and Doncaster. And strangely enough, we haven't got a top goal scorer. Liam Delap gets 24, one behind Danny Rose of Grimsby. However, we do occupy the other places. Average rating, assists, player of the matches, and our goalkeeper as well. 15 clean sheets, not bad for a Turby at all. He didn't look that great. If we have a look at him now, okay, he's slightly improving, so maybe we don't need to get a goalkeeper just yet. So by league form, let's pick out some results. And the 7-2 win over Walsall with a couple of 5-0s, including that against Notts County as well, Sutton as well. 5 seems to be the norm scoring in this division. 10-0 over Salford there in one game, with Liam Delap getting a hat-trick in that game. A 7-1 beating of Tranmere. We have another 5-0 there. The 3 games we lost were on the bounce. Wow, wonder what they were thinking there. But yeah, a 10-0 thrashing in that division, a 7-1. Yeah, 5 seems to be the optimum that we have been scoring of late though, so I'm really pleased with that. And looking at all the trophies, well, first of all, we win the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, which is always a hard one to do. We win that 5-3 over Derby in the final, and we don't win anything else. The FA Cup, we crash out to Brentford 3-2 at home to the Premiership outfit. The Champions League, we got knocked out in the group stage. Wow, Braga and Inter going through. We lost 6-3 to Inter there and 4-2. Wow, 10-5 over the 2 games. Braga we lose 4-0, but we did beat them 2-1 and we beat Slovan Bratislava 4-0 and lost 1-0 at home. Wow, okay. Quite shocking results there. The Carabao Cup, we get to the semi-final, being beaten by Arsenal. Wow, we got battered by Arsenal despite winning the first leg 2-0. We lost 5-2 overall. Just out of interest, who won it? Liverpool 3-0. The Super Cup, we confirmed we win that, and we got knocked out in the playoff round in the Europa League, which I'm assuming is the first round that we came into, and we lost that 6-1 over the 2 legs. Again, disappointing showing in Europe, but that's probably not surprising considering the team that we have. Swiftly moving on to the squad, see how well they all did. Well, there's a lot of goals being scored here. 38 goals for Delap, 27 for Doyle, McCarthy 25, 18 for Dixon. We've got Bob with 16, 15 for Keiki as well, 12 for Hamilton, and Knight gets 12 goals as well. In fact, nearly everybody scores that's played, and everybody got a bit of game time as well. And our goalkeeper, Turby, 82 conceded in 68. Wow, that's a lot of goals being conceded. He did get 23 clean sheets though. But if we have a look at assists, 24 for Doyle, Les Brand gets 20, 16 for Bob, Keiki 15, 14 for McCarthy, Peroni 12, 10 and Sarmiento. I mean, it's very, very good showing in this division, but let's see how they do in League One. £5 million, despite having a massive balance, which is kind of nice, which is going to be useful when we get to the Premiership eventually. But next season, that's what we have to play with. So once again, the transfers have been limited, and we only really needed a couple of positions, and one of them we managed to get this season was a right back. We bring in Mitja Ilinic, who is a superb player actually. He's got plenty of potential, looks really good indeed. Definitely fit into the League One and our squad, and at 19 years old, looks absolutely superb. There's only him and Benes that can actually play in this position decently. If he reaches his potential, we're going to have such a baller on our hands. We bring him in for 4.2 million from NYCFC from the MLS. And wow, look at that, 7.46 already. So with that early signing, he should come straight into our side. The side shouldn't really change at all, which it doesn't. Just Ilinic coming in on that right hand side. So the next stop really would be to get a goalkeeper and possibly a left winger next. But again, with £5 million, we couldn't really do an awful lot. And I didn't really want to sell anybody because we've got a decent squad here. One thing I didn't show you from last season, the Club World Championship was played in the December and we didn't get very far. We got to a third place playoff after losing in the semi-final to Lyon 2-0, but we did beat SEP in the third playoff. So third place for our youngsters isn't that bad at all. But results so far this season, well, we haven't lost, we haven't drawn, we've just won. The Carabao Cup, we beat Bristol City 2-1, and in the second round we beat Sheffield United 2-0, which we advanced into the third to play Everton. We're in the Bristol Street Motors defending that, and the league, we've won all 5 games, beating Leyton Orient 3-0. We beat Bolton 1-0, Port Vale 1-0. We beat Cardiff 4-2 and then thrashed Peterborough 5-2, which means top of the table, 5 for 5 together with Oxford, but with no European football to distract us, we should be able to advance and hopefully gain one of them top 2 automatic promotion spots. In the Bristol Street Motors, we have been drawn against Carlisle, Everton under-21s and Port Vale. So let's delve into our second season and let's see if we can pull off another madness and gain promotion for the second season running. Well, we've only gone and done it again. League One chalked off. Back-to-back promotions. We are now in the Championship and now with a transfer budget of £8 million. This is brilliant. We're getting more and more. One away from unlimited transfer budget, which is fantastic in a short space of time as well. But Man City, their youth squad have literally torn this division apart again. 19 points the difference. They did go a little bit easy towards the end with a loss and a draw in the last 5 games, but 38 wins out of 46 and 5 losses. 132 goals scored, 49 conceded, not the least, as Oxford and Millwall conceded the least, I think, by 48 goals there, and we conceded 49. But other than that, that is another fantastic season. Delap gets the leading goal scorer, 30 goals this season. He seems to be growing quite nicely. If we just have a quick look at him. Not too bad, actually. His progress, it's a little bit up and down. But the last couple of seasons, it's definitely growing. His finishing's growing as well. And everything else is looking pretty nice and tidy. And Doyle as well. 19 goals for the season. Even better. And Bob, second best player in the league with Hamilton as well. Hamilton's kind of the unsung hero here. Seems to be doing pretty well on that left-hand side, I think. But again, another player that's going to grow. Only 21 years old as well. So once again, we look at the form. We did go 7 games. for 7 before losing our first game. Then we go on another little bit of a rampage again. 4 being scored the most in a game. We did have a 5-1 win over Exeter though earlier on. But yeah, the games are a lot harder, but the wins are coming a lot easier as well. A 7-0 victory over Burton there, in between a Reading and a Peterborough win. A 5-3 over Cheltenham, where we lost earlier on, I believe. We did away from home. We have a 6-2 victory over Bolton. And then towards the end, we did lose to Colchester, but we beat Oxford, our nearest rivals. Competition-wise, right, okay, what have we won first? Bristol Street Motors. That trophy is ours once again. This time we beat Charlton after extra time, 4-3, with Delap getting the most goals in the competition as well, and Hamilton most assists. And a Turby, most clean sheets as well. Well done to him. Be interesting to see how much he's grown as well. In fact, let's have a quick look at him now. Okay, he's establishing himself. He is getting a little bit more potential on him as well. 21 years old. Growing pretty well. His progress. We have a look. Definitely growing in the right direction. Maybe we stick with him for another season. I don't know. But with 8 million in the bag, we'll see what's needed. But yeah, very nice indeed. Carabao Cup, we got knocked out by Liverpool. 4-1. 7-2 over the 2 legs. Did Liverpool go on and win it? 8-1 against Burnley. Flipping heck. That's got to be tough in the final. Wow. The FA Cup, we got knocked out by West Brom. 1-0 away from home. The Championship outfit. Okay, that's probably understandable at this point. If we lost to a League 2 side, then yeah, it would have been upsetting. But once more, who went on to win it? Liverpool again. Cup double. This time against Ipswich, 4-2. We are in the Club World Championship yet again. Not quite sure how, but that begins on the 15th of June, so we'll have a look at that when we come back. So 4-3 goals from Delap with 5 assists. 25 and 16 for Tommy Doyle. Marvellous stuff. And Bob, 19 and 11. He looks really good at 21 years old. Marvellous. I'm not sure where he's playing though. Either cam roll or right wing. But again, we have a quick look at his development. And yeah, he's growing very, very nice indeed. Just needs to be a bit more on his crossing there. 15 and 7 for Robertson. Hamilton gets 12 and 20 assists. Great. Claudio Echevre. He was a youngster we brought in from our youth. He was on loan last season. We brought him into the first team and he looks really good as well. 19 years old, obviously getting some game time, and look at that, some growth in him as well, lots of potential. And he got 11 and 10 in 28 games. That's not bad at all. Makati as well, 10 and 7. Everybody getting involved. We've even got Baroni as well with 11 assists. 16 for Ilinic, which is great. 63 conceded this time from Iturbi. Like I say, he is growing, so we might give him another season, see what he's like. There may be a couple of other positions where we need to improve, but yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I mean, the good thing is all our players are really, really young. But yeah, £8 million for next season to try and improve our side, who's looking pretty decent with Bob, our best player at the moment. Once again, £8 million sounding quite a lot more than the £5 million the previous season and £2 million the previous season before that. And still we only managed to bring in one player, Christian McFarlane from the MLS. £5 million from NYCFC, another player from that club. So we've got 2 players at the back now. He comes with a lot of potential, 18 years old, and probably you could argue better than S-Brand in a way. S-Brand's just not grown. I expected him to be around about 4.5 star by now. I really do, especially with the way he's been playing. But he hasn't grown that much. So we brought in another left back, which we seem to be struggling with full-backs anyway. So with physicals and mentals like they are, I think he'll do well and grow as well with exciting prospect who isn't far from first team level. He's playing in the first team, I guarantee it. 8 games already, 3 assists. Can't ask for more than that. And needless to say, our form is pretty good. The Club World Championship, I did mention that before. We did have a couple of wins in there actually. Wydad, Casablanca and Al Ittihad. 3-0 and 2-1 respectively. Then we beat FLA 2-1. And then we played Chelsea in the second round, of which we lost after extra time. I guess the players were a little bit tired. But they reached the second round this time. They did pretty well. 3 wins in the competition. I think they've expressed themselves quite well. The Carabao Cup, we are through to the third round after beating Bristol Rovers 6-0 and Derby 4-0. Now we play Sheffield United. But the league service resumes. 3-0 against QPR. We beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-1. Bristol City 4-1. We even beat Blackburn 4-2 and Coventry 4-2. And recently we've just beaten Reading 3-1. We're not in the Bristol Street Motors competition anymore because now we're in the Championship. But we are lying top of the table, 6 for 6, 14 goals, 18 points. Same with Hull. But I just wanted to have a look, see where some of the other Manchester players are currently. So I want to have a look where Haaland is, see what he's doing. He's at Liverpool. Oh, damn. Look away, Man City fans. Wow, okay, what's he done over the past couple of seasons? So he's 19 goals, 23 goals. Not as many as he had with Man City, that's for sure. Foden's at Leipzig, playing on that left-hand side. Looks really good. If we've got the money, we'll bring these players back in. He's only 25 years old, so who knows? We may see these players yet again when we get back to the Premiership. But he's not really had any impact, I don't think. But he's playing well, though. Got to be said, well, 10 goals, 7 goals. It's not bad in another country. And Kevin De Bruyne, ouch, 34 years old. He's at Newcastle. Oh, dear, how's he been doing? Not that bad, actually, to be honest. Playing really well, as you probably would expect. So at the moment, if we can bring some of them players back, some of the younger ones, then brilliant. But at the moment, our lads are doing really well. They've really stepped up. But the main challenge really is this season, can they step up to the mark and get us back to the Premiership in double quick time? And the lads have only just gone and done it. Gained promotion back to the Premiership with back-to-back promotions. Within 3 seasons, we're back in the big time, and more importantly, we have unlimited budget, or however much the budget the board will allow us. But we're back where we should be, and these lads are an absolute credit to the Manchester City team, these youngsters that have done all the hard work. 108 points, nearly 20 points ahead of Crystal Palace, who finished in second with Bournemouth closely behind them. 61 goal difference, 106 goals, 45 conceded. It's been an absolute whale of a ride. And we did it with least losses as well. 6 in total, 34 wins from 46, which is absolutely incredible what these youth players have actually done. Delap, leading goal scorer once again. The question being now is, do we bring Haaland back if we've got Liam Delap? 33 goals, leading goal scorer, golden boot winner. Bob gets most assists together with Ilinic and Iturbi. Most clean sheets as well. Still a long way to go. Probably not really good enough for the Premiership, but again, we'll see what happens when they all step up. But another good showing by the youngsters this season. We started off very well indeed. 4 months unbeaten. 6-0 over Birmingham there as well. That is amazing. 4 months, and then we lose our way a little bit in the middle, and then we rally towards the end of the season with 5, 7, 8 wins on the bounce. Nothing big. A 5-2 win over QPR, 4-0 over Hull. We did lose to Sheffield United 5-1 after beating Huddersfield 5-2. A 5-0 over Rotherham. I mean, some big scores. We have been scoring goals, and we've not been conceding that many either, which is quite surprising considering our goalkeeping situation isn't that great. But it's a testament again to our defence. The rest of the competitions, though, the FA Cup, we get knocked out by Nottingham Forest in the 4th round, 3-1. After a replay, I think, as well. They were from the Premiership, so it is a step above. And the Carabao Cup, we lost to Sheffield United, who beat us in the league 4-0 this time. Wow, they hammered us in the league and they hammered us in the cup as well, which shows we've still a long way to go, though, to be fair. Squad-wise, though, just look at this. 36 goals from Liam Delap in 52 games. Absolutely brilliant. If we just have a quick look at his progress, not bad going at all. His attributes, if you look at all time, well, 3 seasons, they have grown, not significantly, but they have gone up. Claudio Echeverri, again, another good youngster, 12-3, getting his game time as well. Has he developed much? We shall have a look. He's going on the up as well, only 20 years old as well. We've got McCarthy as well. 12-12, 12-10 for Tommy Doyle, 11-10 for Hamilton Bob with 10-15. Fantastic stuff. Peroni as well, one of the high potential players that we had, 7 and 7, holding firm in the middle of the park. 20 assists by Ilinic. Fantastic. Again, I don't know how well these players will do in the Premiership, but that is absolutely fantastic. And a goalkeeper, 51 in 49. I do believe we will need to get another goalkeeper though, to be fair, although I'm very tempted to give these guys a go in the Premiership for one season. But it all depends what the budget is and whether we can go and win the Premiership and get ourselves back into the Champions League as well. So here goes. Wow. Okay, £289 million. Now, we would be foolish not to spend that kind of money after we have been limited for the past 3 seasons. We need to get ourselves back to the top and fighting for Champions League football as well. We spend a whopping £258 million at this window, and one of them was to bring Phil Foden back to the club. The 26-year-old now can play on the left-hand side. Hamilton's done a superb job on that left-hand side, but we just need a little bit more oomph. And what better player than Foden to come and fill in that position. Very well experienced. He's been at Leipzig for the past 3 seasons, playing really, really well. And as you can see, £88 million to bring him back to the club. 4 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, 1 player of the match. Wow. Another Manchester City that we brought back was Rico Lewis on the right back position. Ilinic, again, a very, very good player. However, for the Premiership, we needed to shore up our back line, and Rico Lewis can do that job for us. Again, some experience. He's been at Brighton for the past 3 seasons, playing really well, and we bring him back for £75 million with an assist to his name in the first 4 games. We steer away from ex-Man City players and we go to Fiorentina, and we bring in Fabiano Parisi, a left back. McFarlane, plenty of potential still left in him. However, again, the same situation like it was on the right hand side. We needed experienced players in here. At 25 years old, I think he can help us at the back and elevate us to where we need to be. We need our wing backs to do the jobs for us. And the left hand side seemed to be struggling a little bit, but £30 million from Fiorentina, where he's been for the past 3 seasons. He's played relatively well, but 2 assists to his name already and a Player of the Match award for £30 million. I've got high hopes for him. And finally, from Toulouse for £65 million, we bring in Restes, the goalkeeper. I did say we needed another one. He was probably one of the better goalkeepers that was out there, and at 21 years old, he's here for the long haul. As you can see, he's conceded 11 in 5, and we'll show you that in just a second. So if we put all these players into our best 11, and we have Delap, Makati, Bob and Foden on that left hand side, we've got Doyle and Peroni in the centre, Bellis and Doyle in the middle, but we've got Parisi, we've got Lewis and Restes at the back. So we just want a couple of more players possibly in the centre, unless they surprise us both, Doyle and Bellis. I would like to see if they could elevate themselves and be Champions League level. Apart from that one blip, we've won all our games. Man City fans, look away now. We got hammered the first game of the season, and it was Haaland who absolutely destroyed us. It is our mission to bring Haaland back to Manchester City. We just need the funds. Over £300 million. I think he alone would win the league for us, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, 4 goals from Haaland. 7-1 thrashing at Anfield. Need I say more? The next 3 games, Villa, West Ham and Brighton, were all won quite comfortably, and then we beat Port Vale in the second round of the Carabao Cup 3-1. We're not in Europe, so we can concentrate on the domestics, of which we are lying 5th currently, with Liverpool 4 for 4, with that massive goal difference. But Tottenham seem to be doing well themselves. They thrashed Forest 9-0 and Sunderland 5. Wow, 14 goals just there alone. That's something. Chelsea 4 for 4 as well. Newcastle just above us on goal difference. That 7-1 thrashing kind of didn't help our goal difference, that's for sure. And we've drawn Villa in the next round of the Carabao Cup as well. But surprisingly, as the new team coming up, we have been predicted 7th finish. I'm happy with that. Really am. I was tempted with Alisson and Diaz, but they are in the 30s. And to be perfectly honest, it wouldn't really fit our team currently because they're all young. So let's go and simulate our 4th season. And let's see if we can finish in a European spot. Well, we've gone and done exactly what the media had predicted. 7th position, not bad in a first time back in the Premiership. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed. We conceded a fair bit of goals, 58 in total, and finished about 30 points from eventual winners Chelsea. Wow, a long way off. And 63 goals, I'm hoping that's going to improve over the next couple of seasons as well as we build up towards winning back the league. But the most important thing is, though, despite finishing 7th, we have got Europa League football next season. Haaland wins it with Thuram, the Golden Boot. And needless to say, we are nowhere near the top 3, anything there. We started off okay with the 3 wins and a loss. Then we lost to Chelsea, Arsenal the following month, beating Newcastle. We did lose to Spurs, Manchester United, beating obviously Fulham, Sunderland, teams that you would expect us to win. We drew 3 on the bounce, then won 3 on the bounce, which isn't too bad. So an unbeaten December, which is quite nice. But again, teams you would expect us to beat. Villa, we lost. Newcastle, we got panned 6-1. Wow, another setback. Arsenal, we beat. That's nice. Tottenham, we drew. Then we lost 4 games at Everton, Brentford, Leeds and Crystal Palace. Yeah, I'm expecting to win them game. Did we play? What happened with Liverpool last time? We drew 1-1 at home, so it's a far cry from the 7-1 hammering we received first game of the season. So there was an improvement. Competition-wise, FA Cup, we lost out to Aston Villa in the 3rd round and 3rd round as well in the Carabao Cup. So the FA Cup first, we lost 3-2 after extra time, and the Carabao Cup, we lost 2-1. So they've been pretty close. Our squad, how did they fare in total? Well, we've got 4 players on double figures. Delap, 17 goals and 3. That's not too bad. I'm just hoping he's not losing all faith now. I mean, his finishing's not too bad. Has he developed quite well? I'm guessing he has. They are going up. Don't think we need Haaland just yet, if we can afford him, that is. Well, if we can afford him, we will get him. But yeah, Bob, 11 and 5. 11 and 5 for Foden. That's not too bad, but again, I would expect more from him, being experienced. McCarthy, 7 and 3. Yeah, it's been a rude awakening for the lads going into this season, it has to be said. But hopefully they'll all learn from it and come back stronger next season, especially with us being in Europe. So with that in mind, what have they given us next season? Ooh, a whopping £225 million. We need to make good of this and bring some big players in once more. If we can bring in 2 or 3 more big players, that would help us on our way for sure. Just before we move on to the transfers, if you're enjoying this episode, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so, and it is probably one of the best ways to support the channel. So back to the transfers. We spend an incredible £98 million from Leverkusen for Piero Hinsapi, defender. He can play left back, he can play centre back, more of a centre back that we want him for. He's an elite centre back apparently. He gets forward whenever possible, and he does dive into the odd tackle or not, but his stats look very, very nice indeed. 5 games for us so far and doing very, very well. From Leipzig for £85 million, we bring in Benjamin Sesko. We still have got Liam Delap, done well actually for the past 4 seasons, but we just want that extra oomph going forward. It was either Sesko or Haaland. We couldn't afford Haaland, so we got the next best thing, and Sesko, I believe, is that character. And finally, from Montpellier, we bring in a DM for £48 million, 25-year-old Joris Chatard, to sit as a DM player, like I say. Again, we've only got Doyle and we've got Peroni. We needed more people there, and I think he will establish himself as a first team player as we try and aim for the title and eventually the Champions League. So with £231 million spent, I mean, it's quite incredible over 3 players, but the money was there. It'll be wrong not to spend it. So if we pick our best 11, Sesko, Foden now. We've got Chatard, Hinsape, and we've almost got a changed back line now, with Bellis being one of the original youngsters in the team. Same with Doyle and McCarthy and Bob. They do take their places, so we'll see how we get on. We are going to play Claudio and Chevrolet in the cam position. He's got oodles of potential still, and he's still with us, 21 years old. Looks really good. I just want to give him a chance. McCarthy's playing in that role at the moment, but we're going to lock Chevrolet in. And so far so good. The friendlies went without a hitch. Liverpool we lost 3-2. It's definitely a lot better than the 7-1 drubbing we got last season. Tottenham we drew 0-0, and then we thrashed West Ham 8-3. And then Bournemouth 4-0. We're starting to get into our stride as we beat Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup third round 4-1 before we play the Europa League and the rest of the season. So the Europa League, we've got Braga, who we did beat 5-2 in the friendly. Frankfurt, we've got Rennes, we've got Club Brugge, Sparta Prague and Basel, and also Rangers and Marseille. I'm pretty confident we can definitely get out of this group and possibly go all the way. We're currently lying in 4th position because of that one loss, but 2 wins and a draw, 5 points behind Liverpool, who are 4 for 4. And looking at the Europa League, we're seeded around about 16th. There's definitely teams here we can definitely take on, and we've drawn Tottenham in the next round of the Carabao Cup. So let's go into our 5th season and see if we can get any joy this time round. What it seems when you have an improvement to your side with quality players, you seem to do pretty well in the Premiership. We finished 2nd, folks, 84 points, 8 points behind Liverpool. We both lost same amount of games, but it was the draws that cost us. Our losses twice to Liverpool. Even if we won one and drew, we may have won the league at that point. But yeah, them 2 losses to Liverpool really cost us this season. However, Liverpool has still got Haaland. 119 goals this season they've scored, conceding just 25. Everton get relegated. Wonder how many times they've been relegated in this save, but yeah, they've gone down. Sesko and Foden, our leading goal scorers. Sesko gets 30 goals this season, 3 behind Haaland of Liverpool. Haaland, how much is he worth? £300 million, probably a little bit more maybe. He's 27 years old now, looks absolutely incredible, and he's just a goal machine, isn't he? 266 and 333, doesn't seem an awful lot, but he seems to be just getting from strength to strength each season. A lot more goals than last season, that's for sure. Sesko behind Haaland, best player in the league, with Tommy Doyle and Bob with assists as well. Restes gets 14 clean sheets and Sesko gets 2nd highest man of the match awards behind Haaland. Haaland has beaten him to everything so far. Saying that, it is Sesko's first season in the Premiership, so maybe he'll challenge him properly next season. So apart from that first loss and that 8-3 victory over West Ham, we do got on a little bit of a run over a few months, including a 7-0 battering of Burnley before losing to Chelsea 5-0. That's a little awkward, it has to be said. 5-0 battering away from home. Wow. We lose to Liverpool not long after, but we do get our wins in, which is most important. Another 7-goal thriller there. Look, Fulham 7-1, Luton 5-1, Brentford 5-0. We have been putting it away this season, that's for sure. We do, however, get to the final of the Carabao Cup, and we do win that 3-2 over the mighty Arsenal, who finished behind us. We did go ahead. It was a bit of a ping pong game, really. We score, they score, we score, they score. But absolutely incredible stuff from the lads. I'm not this is our first trophy in the Premiership, I think it is. And I'm not quite sure if this is our first Carabao trophy as well. I think it is in the build up to this season. But Arsenal, get an equaliser, sending it into extra time before we get a winner from Foden, is it? No, Shatard. Lovely finish though. So along the way we did beat Tottenham 2-1. I honestly thought we may have lost that one. The quarterfinals we won on penalties against Liverpool. So we did stop them progressing in this, but 3 games going to penalties there after draws. Arsenal the only team winning outright against Manchester United, and the semi-final we played Burton. Wow, well done Burton. We win that 11-2 though over the 2 legs. Again, we reach another final. The free kick taken from Echeverry there, the youngster. Well done to him. We won the Europa League. So either way, we would be in the Champions League, but it's our first European trophy in this rebuild. So the big one's coming up next season, where we're back in the Champions League. Lovely finish there by Parisi there as well. But the league phase, we did finish top of the group, unbeaten, 7 wins. Marseille, Rangers, Basel, Sparta Prague, Club Brugge, Rennes and Braga. And we did draw with Frankfurt though, who finished in 6th position, just losing the 1 game, and that was against Rangers 5-1 actually. The round of 16 we disposed of AZ, winning 5-1 over the 2 legs. The quarterfinals we beat Rangers 3-0 thanks to a 3-0 first leg victory. And the semi-final we played Juventus and thrashed them 7-2 with a 6-0 second leg win. That's incredible. Sesko, leading goal scorer in the competition with Foden most assists. Sesko also gets most player of the match awards, and Restes gets 8 clean sheets together with Muric of Girona. So 2 trophies won this season, as well as a second place finish in the Premiership and also a runners up spot in the FA Cup. Wow, we could have had a hat-trick of domestics there, but we lost on penalties to Manchester United. That's a shame. We could have had it all this season. Very, very close indeed. Squad-wise, Sesko coming good with 58 goals in 56 games with 7 assists. That's massive. Foden, 34 and 26. Echevri as well. He's looking good. 23 and 10 for the 22-year-old. Bob, 19 and 20. I mean, these are absolutely outstanding stats. Delap, 12 and 7, 11 and 5 for Makati as well. 20 assists for Tom O'Doyle, 22 for Lewis as well, 10 for Parisi. Everybody has been doing their part. They're getting the ball up to our forward and he's just been banging them in. Do we need Haaland if we have Sesko? And he's younger as well. So after coming close to winning what looked like a quadruple and coming away with a brace, what are the club going to give us next season to further enhance our squad? And it's going to be £220 million. That is fantastic. There's a few areas I think we can improve on, but I'm very, very happy with our forward line at the moment. So we do bring in £8 million from the transfers out. Notably one person, Keiki, he's gone to FLA for £3.7 million. He wasn't really getting much game time, so it was time to let him go. And a few other players have gone under £1 million. Ones that were in the under 21s and under 19s, so we decided to let them go as well, just to drum up a little bit more money. Though I don't think we really needed it. But from Valencia for £89 million, we're bringing Christian Mosquera. Centre-back, looks very, very physical. That looks absolutely superb. Bellis is good, but clearly not good enough. We're still conceding a lot of goals with him and Hinsapi. I think they're going to do pretty well together. From Arsenal for £105 million, we're bringing Wonder Kid, 19 years old, Alejandro Fernandez. Centre of the park. They did not want to let him go, I can tell you, but we've offered 90 grand a week and we gave him £105 million, of which they couldn't say no in the end, and he's already paying us that back in double quick time. 2 games, 2 goals and an assist, playing at 7.36. Absolutely superb. Him and Doyle are going to probably battle it out in the middle of the park. And finally from Atletico Bilbao, just for £11 million, another wonder kid really, 20-year-old Mikel Astrain. I doubt very much he's going to get much game time, but he's going to be as our backup to left back Parisi. He's got some potential on him. He looks pretty good actually for 20 years old, so one for the future. We'll see if we can nurture him into that position. We had about £20 million to spend and I didn't really not want to spend it, so for £11 million I think it's a player in the making here. Our best 11 looks a little bit like this now. Sesko up top, Foden and Chevry, Bob, Fernandez, Chattard, Parisi, Hinsapi, Mosquera, Lewis and Restes. That looks one hell of a team. So far so good. We played a couple of competitions. In the meantime, this Euro South American Club Challenge, we beat Corinthians 2-0 with goals from Makati and Enchevri. We also won the UEFA Super Cup, beating Champions League winners Newcastle 4-2, and we're through to the next round of the Carabao Cup after beating Ipswich 4-1. The league, however, we thrashed Crystal Palace, we beat Forest, Brentford, but we lost to West Ham, 14th minute winner from Kudus. The Champions League this season, however, we have been drawn against Copenhagen, Marseille, Barcelona, Sporting, Victoria Pleasant, Club Brugge, Inter and Leipzig. We're currently lying 4th in the table, 3 points behind Arsenal and a point behind Newcastle and Liverpool. And for some reason the Champions League, they see us as 27th. I'd love to prove them all wrong. And we've been drawn against Crystal Palace in the next round of the Carabao Cup. So let's jump into our 6th season and see what we come back with. Once again, we finish in 2nd spot, a Champions League spot, but we seem to be further away from Liverpool though. 12 points in it this time round. We lost in 7 games, which is a few more than last season. Liverpool, again, we lost to 1-0. We did lose to quite some of the other teams like Southampton, West Ham, Bournemouth. I would expect to beat them. Even Villa, you could probably class in there as well. But Arsenal seem to do us over with Manchester United as well. But they have been relatively close. Liverpool, on the other hand, they lost to Tottenham, Newcastle and Leeds. But look at that, we only conceded 26 goals. Wow, there's nothing wrong with our defence, that's for sure. 85 goals scored, a little bit less than last season. But it is what it is. 3 draws in the last 5 games, which probably cost us once more. I mean, there's 6 points there gone begging. Take us up to, yeah, we'll be down to the head-to-head against Liverpool again, wouldn't it, really? But Tottenham, Newcastle, Arsenal finishing 7th position, though. Any other surprises outside? Nobody. Brighton, Leicester and Crystal Palace go down. But once again, Liverpool have won the league. And they've won it now 4 times in the past 5. Sesko, happy to say, has beaten Haaland to the Golden Boot with 40 goals this season. Out of the 80-odd goals we scored, 40 of them have come from Sesko. What a buy he's proven to be. Foden gets most assists in the league as well. Haaland does beat Sesko to the best player in the league, but Sesko gets most player of the match awards, which is amazing. The rest, there's 18 clean sheets together with Alisson. And good old Tommy Doyle, 10 yellow cards. So the first half of the season, we did lose a lot of games. 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 7 games we lost have come in the first half of the season. 6-0 win over Forest there. 5-0 over Chelsea, which is a good result. 5-0 over Leeds. Sunderland. We have been banging them in there, that's for sure. The second half, just that one loss. And yeah, the last couple of games of the season has cost us big time, I think. We couldn't do much more than win games. Nothing too emphatic, though, to be fair. A 3-0 win over Manchester United, which is nice. A 2-1 win over Chelsea this time round. But a draw with Tottenham and Liverpool and Newcastle as well. Could have been so easily wins there. We do, however, get to the final of the FA Cup, winning that 1-0 against Liverpool, with Fernandes from midfield getting the all-important goal. So with that FA Cup victory alongside the Super Cup, that's 2 trophies this season, as well as that South American Cup as well that we had at the beginning in the friendlies. Round of 16 in the Champions League, we got as far against Real Madrid, losing that 4-2 over the 2 legs. That's unfortunate. We were very close though. So that must... Did we go to the knockouts? No, we didn't. So we must have qualified in the top 8. 7th. That's not bad. Back into the Champions League. 5 wins. Club Brugge, Victoria, Sporting we smashed. Barcelona we beat 3-1 and Marseille as well. We did draw with Leipzig, losing to Inter and Copenhagen. Wow, okay. Top of the bill, PSG, but it was Liverpool and Nice who were unbeaten, who won it in the end. Real Madrid beat Liverpool in the finals, so Liverpool not doing so well in the end. And the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out by Arsenal. So the defence of our title, we lose 5-3 overall, the 2 legs. Liverpool again in another final. Did they go and win it? They did, so they did get a domestic double in the end. 72 goals from Sesko. Oh my God. That guy is an absolute beast. I can't believe, how much did we pay for Sesko? 26 years old. Is he better than Haaland at this point? I mean, he scored 70 goals for us already in the league in, what, 72 games? That's incredible. We bought him for £85 million. That's just genius. Fernandes, 17 and 13. Foden, 15 and 32 assists. Wow. Bob, 11 and 17. Chevry, 7 and 4. 14 assists for Rob Lewis. 10 assists for Parisi as well. And a goalkeeper finally has conceded less goals than he's played. So going into next season, we're still looking for that Champions League win and the Premiership. But what have they given us? £195 million. They're still investing, which is very good to see. Only one transfer really going out of any note was Mika Hamilton, the 25-year-old. He goes to Cologne for just over £10 million. He was on loan last season, didn't really do that much, and to be perfectly honest, apart from the earlier seasons until we got to the Premiership, he didn't really feature, so it made sense to take the money and run, so to speak. And only one signing comes in. Majority of our budget, to be fair, £175 million from Real Madrid. We bring in Eduardo Camavinga to sit in the cam role or midfield, whichever way they want to play it. Fernandes is going to be there with him. Foden's obviously on the left-hand side, Bob on the right. We've got a very, very strong side going forward. And if we do not win the Champions League or Premiership this season, I don't know how we're going to win it otherwise. But 26-year-old Camavinga, them stats look really, really nice indeed. So our side now looks like this. Very, very solid. We're still short on that left-hand side though. To be honest, we have got, where's he gone? Insapi. I don't know why he's not playing. To be honest, I thought he'd be centre back. Insapi likes to play on that left-hand side, so I don't know how this is going to go. But yeah, we're going to have Parisi in that left-hand side as one of the better players. Fernando Camavinga in the middle. We've got in Chevry, Foden, Bob and Sesko. What a solid forward line we have. With not too many disruptions to the squad, we should do quite well this season. And results have gone our way. We've beaten Liverpool to the Charity Shield 3-1. So that's trophy number 1 this season. And we've done pretty well in the league as well. Beating Southampton, Arsenal and Chelsea. Champions League, we have been drawn against Real Madrid, who we got Camavinga, so he's going to say hello to them. Roma, Shakhtar, Leipzig, Rennes, Sturm Graz, Manchester United and Porto. Top of the table, 3 for 3, which is good to see and where we want to remain. And we've drawn against Newcastle in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup. Now, we haven't seen this for a while, so let's have a look at the preview. 5th. Okay, the media have us there behind Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle and Arsenal. We've been finishing 2nd over the past couple of seasons. That just doesn't make sense. So let's jump into our 7th season and let's see if we can bring either home the Premiership or the Champions League, or maybe both. We've finally done it, boys and girls. 7 seasons and Manchester City, after being destroyed financially, robbed of all the first team players, relegated to Division 2, have finally in 7 seasons lifted the Premiership. That is wonderful stuff. Now that all that remains is to be champions of Europe, and we'll see if we've done that this season. 2 losses in the league this season. Fantastic, and not against Liverpool either. Newcastle and Tottenham were defeated us. We did draw with, and we didn't draw with the Liverpool there either. So does that mean we beat Liverpool twice? 3-2 and 1-0. That just goes to show. And Liverpool dropped to 3rd position, well out the running, and 100 points we have. 11 points ahead of 2nd place Tottenham, who somehow managed to get 2nd place. I don't know how, but they've managed to do it. Did we beat them? We did beat them once. And of course they beat us as well, didn't they? Wow, it's taken a long time, but we have finally lifted the Premiership, which is fantastic stuff. But that's our 2nd leg of 3. 1, getting to the Premiership. 2, winning the Premiership. And 3 is now the Champions League is all we need to do. But that is absolutely phenomenal stuff. And Sesko, wow, what can I say about him? 36 goals this season, ahead of Haaland yet again. Who needs Haaland when you have Sesko? He beats Haaland to the best player in the league as well. And Foden, 23 assists, together with Rico Lewis with 15. And Sesko also gets most man of the match awards. The league, we went on just a winning spree. 6-2 over Brentford, 5-2 Fulham. Manchester United 4-0, 7-0 against Ipswich, 5 against Leeds. 11-1 against Nottingham Forest at home. Wow. And then we lost 2 games on the bounce, Tottenham and Newcastle, just after a wins over Chelsea and a draw against Arsenal. But afterwards, we thrashed Norwich 8-2, just getting our own back to make sure we're still here. And then we beat Forest again 7-1. And the last game of the season. And we also get to the final of the Carabao Cup, winning that against Manchester United, with Delap scoring the winner in 78 minutes. However, we did not win the FA Cup. We came runners-up, losing 3-1 against Liverpool in the final. And in the Champions League, we get to the round of 16 yet again, losing to AC Milan 3-2, with the winner coming in the 2nd leg. We finished 6th this time, winning 5 games against Porto, Manchester United, Sturm Graz, Shakhtar and Real Madrid, drawing Rennes and Roma and losing to Leipzig. 24 goals and 10. Squad-wise, Sesko, that man has done it again. 55 goals in 54. Amazing. Chevry as well, 21 and 15. What a player he's turned out to be. Fernandez, 16 and 10, 15 and 12 for Bob, 12 and 5 for Delap. He's getting some game time as well. Steve Morrissey, a young'un from I think we brought him up from the academy this season, I think it was. He looks superb. Playing 4 games, 22 off the bench, scoring 11 goals. What a way to introduce yourself. Foden, 10 and 33 assists. 23 assists for Lewis. Camavinga, 8 and 12 in his first season. 15 assists for Parisi. 16 for Tommy Doyle. What on earth are these guys on? That's all I have to say. 19 clean sheets for Orestes. And 65 conceded in 61. How much money are they giving us? 158. So the funds are coming down a little bit. But our wage budget has increased an awful lot. £1 million a week. Wow, we're going for the Champions League this season, folks. That's for sure. Once more, we bring in just the one addition to the club, and majority of the budget gone on Xavi. £180 million from PSG. I think he's a missing piece. He's going to be taking over Doyle's place in the middle of the park. He can also play cam. He can play anywhere along the midfield and up front as well. So I'm very, very happy to bring him on board. We've got a very elite squad now. Absolutely superb. So if we can't win the Champions League at some point now while the players are still young, then we're going to be struggling. Foden's now reached 30 years old. He's still in his prime, I think. We're going to at least get a couple of more years out of him as well, and we've got a couple of other players edging towards the 30-year mark as well. So we're going to have to be very, very quick. But look at these stats. Absolutely phenomenal. So if we pick our best 11, Restes in goal, we've got Doyle, Hinsepi, Mosquera, we've got Lewis, Camavinga, Xavi, Fernandez, Echevry, Foden and Sesko. There's only Callum Doyle really, which is the weakest link at the minute, and possibly the goalkeeper, but everybody else is right up there at the mark. So I have high hopes this season. Results have gone our way as well. We had a Campbell testimonial that we played. We did beat Liverpool once again in the Charity Shield, which I'm really excited that we've got another trophy, 3-1. But we did lose to Manchester United first game of the season, but we beat Tottenham, Newcastle and Everton. The Champions League, we've been drawn against Real San Sebastian, Karabag, Salzburg, Juventus, Sporting, Frankfurt, Nice and Inter. We are currently lying in 4th position because of that one loss, 3 points behind Liverpool, United and a point behind Bournemouth actually as well. Looks like we're predicted to finish 23rd in the Champions League, and we've been drawn against Brentford in the 3rd round of the Carabao Cup as well. So let's jump into our 8th season and let's bring home that Champions League. Season 8 comes to a close, and unfortunately we do not win the league. We lose out by 2 points despite matching Liverpool win for win virtually. We did have one less win than them, but one draw more, so that's pretty much cost us, and goal difference would have been roughly about the same as well. We had to lose 3 games, and that was against United twice and Arsenal, so which means we didn't lose to Liverpool, and yet we beat Liverpool twice. We are getting the better of them, but we're losing other games. We're United finishing 4th and Arsenal 5th. We do score 103 goals and only concede 33, so we are conceding very little at the moment. And I think I'm pretty happy with the side we've got. We've just got to watch now. We are starting to have a few older players reaching 30 and above now, so we'll still have enough time in them, but it's whether or not we bring in somebody younger and maybe change it up a little bit. Sesko beats Haaland to the golden boot in the league again. Absolutely wonderful stuff from this lad. 28 years old now. Still looks phenomenal. 37 goals. I mean, he's scored no end of goals for us. Be interesting to see how many he has scored for us in the, well, at least league wise. 143 and 140 league games. That is just incredible. Haaland does beat him to the best player in the league though, unfortunately, and Fernandez 13 assists as well in the league, and Restes 18 clean sheets behind Liverpool's Cobble. League wise, we did lose 2 games, again 3 games at the first half of the season. 2 very early on, United and Arsenal, but we did thrash Aston Villa 6-0, 5-0 against Blackburn, 4-0 Brentford, 4-1 Chelsea, 5-0 Burnley, and then we lose to United in January, and I think that's our last defeat, which looks like it is. Some big scores in, Brighton 6-2, 4-3 over Liverpool there, and a 5-0 win at the end of the season against Burnley, as well as a Chelsea 3-0 win as well. We're getting the better of the bigger sides now, which is good, and we are establishing ourselves as title challengers each season, which is fantastic. Competition-wise, apart from the Charity Shield, we haven't really done much either. The Champions League, we get all the way to the semi-finals, losing to PSG 5-2 over the 2 legs, despite winning the second leg 2-1. Oh, that really hurts. The league phase, we finished second. Wow, that one unbeaten as well. 3 goals conceded, but we beat Inter 4-0, Nice, Sporting, Juventus, Salzburg, Karabag, and Real San Sebastian drawing with Frankfurt. Frankfurt seem to be our bogey team in the Europe at the moment. Round of 16, we played Celtic. We thrashed them 5-1. Quarters, we beat Liverpool 6-2 over the 2 legs. PSG go on to win 3-1 against AC Milan. The FA Cup, we get knocked out by Manchester United again. I mean, they've beat us twice in the league and they've beat us after extra time in the semi-final in the FA Cup. So again, almost there. Liverpool running out winners though in that competition. We lost in the 4th round to Arsenal 2-1 in the Carabao, of which Arsenal get to the final, lose to Tottenham. Squad, 56 goals from Sesko. I mean, this guy is just an absolute beast. There's nothing more we can say about it. I mean, he is 28 years old. Foden's 31 now, and Parisi 30 also. So I probably looked for a left back, possibly. The thing is, Foden is still playing really well. 58 games, 18 and 21. 22 and 16 for Fernandez, the 22-year-old. Chevry, 14 and 8. He's turning into an absolute superstar. Delap still putting the ball in net. 13 and 2. 12 and 9 for Bob. 6 and 16 for Xavi as well. Camavinga, 11 assists, 16 for Lewis, 16 for Xavi there. Anybody else? 36 goals conceded and 51 by Restes. Excellent stuff with 28 clean sheets. That's got to be a record as well. So if we're going to improve this side a little bit more, we need money. And we've been given, wow, okay, £174 million. I think we could bring in a couple of more players. I think definitely a left back, I feel. And I'm not sure where else, because they are looking very, very good indeed. Maybe a left winger, possibly. We lost one player during the transfer window, Mikel Estrain, the left back. Our only cover for left back, actually. So we had to bring in a couple of youngsters, which aren't really of any note, really, to be fair. We're just dependent on other players filling in now. But £23.5 million to Nice. There must have been a release clause I did not spot, so unfortunately we say goodbye to him. On a happier note, we raided Barcelona for £135 million. We're bringing Lamine Yamal. He can play left wing, right wing, forward. Looks absolutely superb at this point. So hopefully that'll help us in search of a new left winger eventually when Foden starts to slack off a little bit. But already he's played 4 games. He's scored 6 goals for us already, so yeah, very excited to see what this season holds now. And from Ajax, we bring in another centre-back just as cover, really, although he can probably slot into the team anyway. £56 million from Ajax. He hasn't played for us just yet, but if needed, he can be called upon. So if I pick our best 11, this is what it stands out at. Looks very nice indeed. Foden drops into the centre now, which I'm not too sure that will be the best position, but it looks really, really good now. There's only the weakness between the sticks with Restes, but we all know he's a good quality goalkeeper anyway. But Yamal slips into that left wing position with Sesko up front. We haven't had it our own way this season so far. Apart from the friendlies, without a hitch, we lost the Community Shield to Liverpool 2-1. I'm very disappointed with that. Villa, however, we beat 3-1, then thrashed Forest 8-1. We did lose to Arsenal 1-0. Very disappointing. And Newcastle we thrashed 4-0. The Champions League, we have been drawn against PSV, Inter Milan, AC Milan, Schalke, Nice, who have picked up a strain, Bayern Munich, Club Brugge and Slavia Prague. I'm expecting to go all the way this season. We did it last season. I'm sure we can do it again. We are in 4th position currently in the table, 3 points behind the leaders Liverpool and Manchester United, with Arsenal a point ahead of us, although we have got a superior goal difference to everybody else. We are now, looks like, predicted to finish 13th in the Champions League, but as we saw last season, we finished unbeaten near the top. We've drawn Norwich in the next round of the Carabao Cup as well, so let's get into our 9th season and see if we can bring either home the Premiership, but more importantly, the Champions League. We start off season 9 superbly. We end up with a the Premiership for the second season in 3, finishing top and 13 points clear of nearest rivals Manchester United, with Liverpool a further 3 points behind. Liverpool lost 10 games this season. We only lost 2 games, and that was against Sheffield United. Wow. Where did they finish? They finished in 9th position, and Arsenal, of course. But 2 losses, were they both away from home? They were. Okay, I can accept that. And in fact, there's only 4 points dropped at home there, Brighton and Wolves. So I'm really pleased with that. 94 points. Very strong finish to the season. 100 plus goals once again, and only 28 conceded. But we all know, more importantly, is how we have done in Europe. Holland does beat Sesko to the Golden Boot this time. Sesko only got 29, but that could be because of Yamal, who finished with 19 assists. He also gets second best player in the league, so Sesko's dropped off remarkably. Restes, though, 16 clean sheets, and Yamal second most player of the match awards behind Haaland. So Haaland getting his mantle back. So the league results: Brentford 5-1. We lost our second game to Sheffield United in December, which probably means we were unbeaten for the rest of the season, and we were. Wow, not many goals being conceded. A 4-0 over Fulham, 3-1 over Forest, not the big scores that we have been hitting against them. Wolves and Southampton hit for 5, 6-0 against Sheffield United after losing to them earlier on in the season, and we did beat Liverpool there 1-0. Spurs we beat, Derby we beat. The FA Cup, however, we got knocked out by Newcastle on penalties after a 1-1 draw, with Manchester United taking that title 2-1 against Leeds. We do get to the final of the Carabao Cup, and we absolutely smashed Liverpool, who looked like they had a player sent off. 4-1 in the end. An absolute dominant display by this Young City side, who have just gone strength to strength and better each season. And it's always been a rivalry between these two in the last couple of seasons as well, battling who's going to win it in the last game of the season. But yeah, we kind of demolished the league a little bit this season. Xavi there with a wonderful finish to make it 4-0 before Liverpool get a late consolation with the ball into the box and hammered in. The Champions League, we finish second again, this time behind PSG with 1 loss. We lost to AC Milan 1-0. With 7 wins though: Slavia Prague, Club Brugge, Bayern Munich we smashed 5-1, Nice 2-0, 6-1 against Schalke. Inter and PSV all been put to the sword, but 31 goals scored in the 8 games is just quite remarkable. Straight to the round of 16, we played Bayern Munich and we smashed them 5-3. The quarterfinals, we get past Liverpool 5-4 over the 2 legs, which puts us into the semi-finals for the second season running, of which we play PSG and we beat them 4-1. They knocked us out at this stage last season, and we've done it to them this season thanks to a 3-0 second leg victory, and that puts us in the final against Barcelona, who beat Arsenal 4-3 thanks to a 4-2 second leg victory. And in the final, you can see at the top left hand corner, we take the Champions League 2-1 despite being 1-0 down just before half time. We get a goal back for a wonderful pass from Xavi to Sesko, and then I think it is an own goal in the end from a corner in off Grambek. And there we have it. We've won the Champions League after 9 long seasons. After being destroyed financially, we lost all our first teamers, we got relegated to Division 2, and we fought our way back to the Premiership, built a solid side, and we've taken the league, the Champions League and the Carabao Cup. Could that be classed as a treble? Not as great as the FA Cup treble, but even so, it's still a treble of sorts. But more importantly, the Champions League has been won, and Manchester City are sitting pretty at the top of European football once again, which does mean that brings an end to this rebuild. We've done it. 9 seasons it's taken. If anybody else decides to take the challenge on, let me know how long it has taken you to do something like this. 9 seasons is quite a long time. So just before we go then, Sesko leads the way with 54 goals from 58 games with 6 assists. 34 and 33 from Yamal. Oh my God, that's insane. 24 years old and he's producing figures like that. Has he improved? I mean, what on earth is he on? I mean, it has gone up. I mean, I don't know whether that's up over... I think that's just over this season alone, I think. Wow, what an improvement. Fernandez, 23-year-old, 17 and 13. Foden still puts in 16 and 19. He's now 32. Bob, 15 and 6. 9 and 14 for Xavi. Not bad in his first season. 8 and 7 for Echeverry. 7 and 6 for Doyle. Camavinga, 7 and 14. 21 assists for Rico Lewis as well. And our goalkeeper, Restes, 54 conceded in 62 with 23 clean sheets. And there's still quite a few players that did not even get any game time. But just before we go, we'll just have a look at some records. Did we break anything at all? Lowest league position, first in League 2. Most points in the season, 117. Most league wins, 38. So we have broken some there. Most league goals in a season, 116. Fantastic. Sesko gets 72 goals in a season. He absolutely slaughters all records in that respect. He also gets 40 goals in a league season as well as the highest average rating for a player. Most assists by player in a season, 33 by Foden. Yamal didn't get that. I think he fell one short, but that was a fantastic season by Foden before Yamal came in. Most player of the match was 21 by Sesko. Sesko broke quite a lot of records in this rebuild. Sequences, most games without losing, 41. Goodness me. I think that's just the season just gone, I think. Yeah, from 6th of December to the 29th of May to the end of the season. Wow. And the highest fee paid was for Xavi from PSG for £180 million. So that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so, and it's the best way to support the channel also. If you have any other teams that you would like to see rebuilt this way, then please let me know down in the comments below. And until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.